Hey guys, I'm back again with the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. This is going to be my 115 out of 115 defense tutorial, I guess. You can see I'm at 135, but I haven't actually added anything. I just got it a little while ago. So I am actually still set up for my 115 out of 115 defense. And so I'm going to walk through that really quickly before I actually get into replays. So you can see I have these three guys, and this is really, they're going to enter through here, they're going to see these three, and they're not really going to see these guys. So they're going to end up aggroing this, fight these three off, and then these 5 bone puppeteers are all spread out, like I said the last time. Spread these guys out. I do have one of these for extra damage as well. It's level 2, so it does a little bit of damage, but you can see the zone area here. And they're all going to come in. This guy's going to come in here, this guy's going to come in here, this guy's going to come in here, here, and here, and resurrect these guys as they're dying. And then, as the hero chases around these bone puppeteers, they're going to run into these corners, activate these traps that are down over in here, and it's just going to take them quite a bit of time to actually get through here. Then they're going to go on to their second area, and this is the really guy that you want to take advantage of the most at 115. He's probably the best for the level of hero that's going to be around that zone. This is going to be like a level 6 through 8 castles. Actually, 6 and 7 are going to have 115 defenses. You can see I'm at 7 with 135. So, you know, some level 7s are going to have 115, some level 7s are going to have 135. But this guy here resurrects some really good monsters that are going to be able to, you know, make the heroes spend a lot of time actually removing them. So they're always going to have to target this guy first. Right, that's generally what they're going to have to do to get through here. So you have these two derps that hopefully, when they're approaching, they'll just shoot these guys down before noticing that there's one of these back here. He's going to start to go to work to resurrect these guys into stronger monsters. Then you have these two Smellies archers that are just going to do as much damage as possible while they're trying to target down this guy here. I don't actually remember what his name is. It's like Doctor something, right? Dr. Skull. Okay. So as they're targeting down Dr. Skull, these two Smelly archers are going to do as much damage as possible. Then I have another one of these Dr. Skulls here, with an ogre in front. Hopefully they won't see him as they're approaching. This could be a little bit more spread out, and I did have it spread out before, but I had some units in here as a 135, and I just removed them while I was doing this video, because I don't want to actually get attacked during this video, hopefully, and lose all of this loot, because I do have quite a bit right now. But 4 derps, 1 ogre, 1 Dr. Skull. Again, the same concept. You want them to kill these guys first, but if they don't, they're going to have to go through and target down this guy. This guy's level 2, he has charge, so he's going to be a little bit annoying as they're trying to target him down. Also, he's going to run out through this room, maybe start getting close to this trap, and do a little bit extra damage. You have this extra room as well during 145. You're going to have 4 out of 4. So, there's a chance that they're going to go down this way, because they're going to see this trap and they're going to be like, I don't really want to go through here. They're going to go through here. If they actually enter into this room, they're going to get slowed, and there's actually nothing over here. So a little bit of an extra time waster. I have this mouse wheel thing set up here, just in case they come through and want to get stunned, because I do have these 2 smaller bone puppeteers here, 2 ogres, to knock them back as they're trying to get through into here, and possibly knock them into this mouse trap, and stun them for a little extra time. Again, just to slow them down. Now, very similarly to the last video I made, the only change is I removed those bone puppeteers and a couple of the other guys and added in this Dr. Skull into my final area, because they're going to have to target this guy down, or it's just going to be too much for them to handle. All the while, these Smelly archers are going to be doing their damage. So again, you can see that I actually don't have a boss for this, and it's worked reasonably well for me, but again, higher level people are going to be able to get through your dungeon if they want to. The idea is to try to kill off or stop enough heroes to make it kind of worthwhile for you. So let's go into replays, because that's the final area. So let's go into replays. There's also one of these traps here. Just in case this Dr. Skull runs backwards, they're going to have to try to avoid this trap while they're fighting him. Alright, so replays. So I think almost all of these are from here. Let's see, those are my replays that I did in my last video, so we'll just start off and go through it. This guy took way too much time, so we'll see how this warrior handles this setup. And hopefully I hadn't changed anything since this replay. I may have, but we'll see. So yeah, we have the 3, we have the barrel. Again, barrel does a little bit of damage, just hit him for like 24. He has a lot of armor, so I should definitely check the levels before I get going, but again, he's trying to target these Bone Puppeteers down. There's 2 more over here, resurrecting a ton of monsters that he's going to have to deal with. All the while, he is taking little bits of damage, but he did get one of those health globes, so lucky for him, I guess. And he's going to finally clear it up, but it did take him a reasonable amount of time. Alright, so now we have this Dr. Skull, and he's grabbing him, he's trying to target this guy down as much as possible. And this guy isn't really getting as much resurrection as I would like. Actually, I think I did change this. You noticed that there was 2 Smelly Archers here before. The reason why I changed this, and let me pause and talk about it, is I used to have these 2 Bone Puppeteers and a bunch of little guys in front, and what was happening is these 2 Bone Puppeteers were actually resurrecting the monsters before Dr. Skull could actually do his job. So I changed those 2 out, and I removed, I think, a couple of the smaller minions for 2 Smelly Archers. So, like, this defense obviously was working, but there's not nearly as much of these the Moldy McGee level 8 things, because these guys have quite a bit of hit points for a resurrected monster. So it, like, eats up a lot of time for the heroes. Okay, this one's exactly the same. Those 4 little guys that we're trying to get him to do, and you can see these Moldy McGees, he's just resurrecting after resurrecting after resurrecting. And we ended up getting at least 2, maybe 3 before he ends up going down, so pretty good. He's already over half the mark. So chest locks in 1 minute. He has about 1 minute to actually get through this dungeon. Pretty much impossible from this point. So he ends up getting about 5 or 6 guys resurrected through all of that. Taking a ton of extra time. You know, now he's down to 50 seconds. Now I believe this guy actually goes the wrong way. Like I said, that's what this is for. He goes up into this room, gets slow to realize there's actually nothing up here, and just a ton of extra little bits of extra time really help you out. Alright, so again, this trap with these 2 charging Cyclopses end up getting him hit by the mousetrap. Exactly really how I want this defense to work. If anything, I'd prefer that derp to be a little bit farther ahead so that these guys start resurrecting earlier. But he's actually taking quite a bit of damage. Like, it's a substantial amount when he's going into those 4 Smelly Archer area. He's gonna have to... Well, actually, he must find some health globes. There's one right here. He must find maybe another one. But yeah, he's not making it for sure. He hasn't even gotten into the boss area, and he has 3 seconds. Alright, so there's the boss area. These guys doing their damage. He ends up getting a health globe, or he probably would have died here. That's a reasonable, like, it's reasonable to say that these Defendatrons don't actually pull their weight and you can switch them out, because they do drop health globes pretty often. So as you can see, he's having some trouble, but he ends up getting another health globe. Again, he's getting pretty lucky on these health globes or he would have died, because I do not think he has any potions. And he's actually at the 900 potion area. Or maybe it just says that all the time, but... that means he's probably pretty high level. And he struggled a lot through this dungeon. You know, this is a very long replay. I'm actually going to speed it up so I can get through the other ones as well. But he ends up getting a blue scimitar, or a green scimitar, I mean. That's actually, I think, the lowest level that there is. And I'm not sure why he's going back. Oh, I guess he left monsters back there. That's kind of funny. So, he's going through, trying to be careful of the traps because he's really low on life, and ends up, you know, getting through, but doesn't get anything out of it. So, my defenses win, plus 20 crowns, level 10. That guy was level 10 as well. This is a level 6 and 7 dungeon. These guys are 3 levels over it and struggling. So, that's pretty good. Again, I actually think these guys shouldn't be struggling as much as they are. I'm level 9, and I can barely get through my own dungeon. I can't actually get through it in the amount of time, but they're also 1 level higher than me. So I think they should almost be able to get through it in the amount of time, because I don't make it by a couple seconds. Although there are times when I test my dungeon and these guys start running all the way back towards the entrances and stuff, and just, it takes like a ridiculous amount of time. to kill off these puppeteers, but a lot of people have the level 2 puppeteers as healing puppeteers. I don't know. I still like the resurrect ones, but I can see where they're coming from now because the resurrecting guys start to become less and less effective as time goes on. So again, I have these two bone puppeteers here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have any replays of where I switch this level out, but you can see we're getting Bag of Bones instead of those Mildew, McGee, whatever things that the Dr. Skull resurrects. So don't have bone puppeteers in with those Dr. Skulls, because the bone puppeteers resurrect from range. The Dr. Skulls have to resurrect next to them, I believe. So he's about halfway done. He's got 1 minute and 30 seconds and he's only gotten through 2 areas. This guy just doing his work. Resurrected 2 so far, and he himself will resurrect at least 1 when he dies. I believe it's like an area of effect when they die. They resurrect everything around them, but I'm not 100% positive on that, so don't quote me. We'll see when he dies. Does he resurrect any others? It looks like 1 other, maybe. So a total of 5 or 6 again, which is pretty reasonable. You know, now that zone alone took him about 1 minute and 10 seconds. Or not 1 minute and 10 seconds, like 40 seconds, right? He had 1 minute and 30. Yeah. So like 40 to 45 seconds in one zone is pretty reasonable when it's not even your boss zone. This is probably one of the weaker zones, to be honest. You could add another Dr. Skull zone in here if you really wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary. Alright, so the final zone. Again, this is like my kill zone. We're watching the hit points. Those archers doing about 50 damage a shot. 4 of them, and they shoot twice sometimes. I'm not sure if they shoot twice every time, but yeah, he's just not having a good day in this zone. And he's trying to target down this Dr. Skull. And he already took too much time. On top of that, he's going to end up getting killed. Although there is a health globe down there, and he really wants it, he ends up getting it. But still, he's just trying to target down this Dr. Skull as he's just sitting here resurrecting a ton of units. And all the while, these smelly archer is still doing damage. There's 2 of them left, and he's got 20 hit points, and he ends up dying. And I believe he ends up resurrecting again, so 100 gold for me. And 20 crowns for me as well. And now he gets through. Alright, so that was the 20 crown. So again, 2 more level 9s. This guy actually goes, they both went through twice. These are the same people. The first time he like made it through but didn't have enough time. The second time he comes through, he knew the correct way to go, but he ends up dying. And then he just gave up. So this is this guy's first attempt. And just target these guys down. Like, this is the best part, is when they start to run away from them. But these 3 clump up. That's not like ideal, because he was able to cleave all of them down. It's really the best when they all start running in opposite directions. The best you can spread them out. It takes the most amount of time. So I mean, I'm sure there's improvements that can be made to this setup, but it worked reasonably well for me. I'm going to be going into 135, and I'll, you know, look at how the defenses hold up for me as I'm going through it and make another video of that. But again, I have these small bone puppeteers, so I haven't actually had a replay to show you how those 2 smoky archers work. And this guy's going to invade right after that, so I probably won't, but I might leave that zone up to see how it works during the 135 phase. So he actually went and killed off everything before this Dr. Skull. This guy actually does quite a bit of damage. He must have a pretty good weapon. He probably has one of the higher level ones, and this guy actually goes the wrong way as well. So that little extra zone here, that little extra room is really nice. So my 2 charges miss. But this Bone Puppeteer is running over here, which is great, making him cross the mousetrap again. And he gets hit by it. Gets hit by it again. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious why he doesn't make it through in time. He went the wrong way and he got hit by this now 3 times. Alright, now my kill zone, let's see how much it actually does to him, because he seems like he has pretty good gear. It's doing reasonably well. But he has almost 2,000 life, so this guy's quite, like, overpowered, I guess, in this level of a dungeon. Again, like, level 9, I believe, for a level 6 or 7 dungeon, so... And he actually almost dies. Comes reasonably close. Obviously, there's health globe there. He might have health potions, but it probably doesn't. I don't know if he just can't see them in replays, or if he actually doesn't have any. But people generally don't want to use health potions if they can avoid it, because they are pretty expensive. And if he's anything like me, I always tap the Q key instead of 1. Alright, so he ends up getting through but doesn't steal anything. Now this one here, I had a ton of life force when I went to sleep, and I really didn't have anything that I could do to spend it because I was waiting for my dungeon heart or whatever to finish upgrading, so he ends up getting away with quite a bit of stuff. I guess that's why everybody started trying to loot me as well. Because I had something like 3,000, I think. So I even spread these out more after I watched this replay. I put them like all the way over into the corner, because the more they spread out, the better. Like, this is even better than the last time he went through. You don't want them to be able to cleave like this. But he's not going to have to go to that one corner of your dungeon, and he's not going to have to get hit by the mousetrap, most likely, the amount of times that he did. So this is actually good for me to be targeting down these Bone Puppeteers before Dr. Skull, because this guy from range is resurrecting these into Bag of Bones, and we don't want that. So you do not want to have those 2 Bone Puppeteers. You want to replace them with something like Smoky Archers or Cyclopses or something like that. Cyclopses might even be better because as they're trying to target down the Dr. Bones or whatever, the Cyclops will be charging into them and knocking them away from Dr. Skull, not Dr. Bones. I'll get the names of these monsters down eventually. Alright, so resurrected a reasonable amount. Let's see if he gets hit by this mousetrap, or actually, nope, he does get hit. So that's a really good placement on that mousetrap. As they walk through, those Cyclopses push them back into the mousetrap. It's really good. However, these 2 Bone Puppeteers did clump up. This guy definitely does do a lot of damage. It has quite a bit of life. So he changed up strategy a little bit and took out 2 of the smelly archers before he actually went after Dr. Skull. That's going to lower the DPS that I have quite a bit. And probably was the correct choice, given what he knew. A lot of people just see those Dr. Skulls and just target them over everything because they're so annoying to deal with. Especially when you're lower level, like the 7 through 9 levels. It's pretty difficult to actually take them out. And he ends up getting quite a bit of life force, which is not the best thing in the world. But there you have it, the 115 defense video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In a couple of days I'll do the 135, and so you can definitely check that out. Thank you for watching, and see you later.